Well, for his thoughts on the upcoming visit of Prince Charles and the Duchess, as well as Canada's ties to the monarchy, we're joined by Rafal Heydel-Mankoo. He's a royal historian and commentator, and he's with us now via Skype from London, England. Good morning, Rafal.
Hello there, good afternoon.
I guess it is good afternoon. Good to be talking to you. The 60th Jubilee anniversary of the Queen is obviously a world celebration of Queen Elizabeth, or at least the world as much of the English monarchy knows it. With Prince Charles and Camilla coming to Canada, once again, it's showing the ties between Great Britain and Canada and how strong they are.
Very much so, but of course we also have to remember that Prince Charles will be the future King of Canada, and so this is very much an attempt to give a visible face to the monarchy in Canada. Since the times of Trudeau, there have been quite a lot of efforts made in official circles to erase that visible tie between Britain, between the royal family and Canada. But with this current Harper government, we've seen a wonderfully positive attitude towards reinforcing visibly that tie. There was no coincidence that they chose Canada last year for Prince William and the Duchess of Cambridge to make their international debut on the world stage, because they have a deep and abiding affection for Canada. They wouldn't say so publicly, but I think secretly they regard Canada as their favorite realm.
That's pretty much something that we here in Canada take a lot of heart in. You know, it's interesting that you brought up Will and Kate from last year, because a lot of pomp and circumstance surrounded that, as befits any royal visit to our country. Not quite so much royal pomp and circumstance, but definitely an official type of stamp on this visit.
That's right. The focus of this visit is really to celebrate the record of service of the Queen, and that value that we always attribute to the Queen of service, self-sacrifice and dedication to duty are also intrinsically Canadian values. And so the Prince of Wales and the Duchess will be doing a lot to highlight various initiatives and charitable endeavours in Canada which are close to the Prince of Wales' own heart, and they will be celebrating Canadians who are engaged in all sorts of voluntary activities at the local level, at the provincial level, at the national level, by giving out these Diamond Jubilee medals and really trying to focus attention on projects and causes that aren't glamorous and fashionable. Monarchy isn't about celebrity, and these are ways in which they can highlight issues which the media might otherwise neglect. Well,
you know, Rafal, you raise a good point, and I'm going to ask you this question, because you look around the world where monarchies are still held in esteem, but there are also places where monarchies are looked down upon, people questioning the relevance of the monarchy institution throughout much of the world. Yet in England and Canada, there is a strong belief in the monarchy. How are they maintaining that relevancy?
Well, the reason that the monarchy has survived in Britain and Canada is because it's always evolved and adapted. The monarchies failed in France and Russia and elsewhere because they failed to adapt and move with the times. And we've seen this gradual process occurring. And the monarchy today is a very different monarchy from even 20 years ago. It's evolved and refashioned itself to remain relevant to the 21st century people in Canada and in the UK. And so you're seeing now a young, dynamic, streamlined monarchy, of which Prince William and Prince Harry are the shining examples, who can really engage with the next generation of Canadians. Former generations, they already have an established bond and relationship based upon previous visits and family connections, etc. But this is now we're seeing a re-engagement with a much more diversified Canadian population.
In many ways, Rafal, it's much more than about just celebrities who have vast wealth and glittery jewels. There's something solid there, isn't there?
Well, of course. I mean, the monarchy is a grounding rock, you know, and in this era when everything seems to be so unstable and changes every few minutes, it seems, we can take some comfort from the fact that we have in the monarchy the world's oldest institution, along with the Catholic Church, and indeed Canada is one of the world's oldest democracies, despite being a very young country. Canada has known nothing other than the monarchy, and just as the English language and the French language have evolved in uniquely Canadian ways, the maple crown has evolved into a uniquely Canadian institution, and so the Canadian crown is completely separate from the British crown, and it's more than just one person. It's more than the Queen. It's more than the Prince of Wales. We have a Governor General and 10 Lieutenant Governors, all of whom serve the Canadian people. So the crown really is the golden thread that winds its way through the Canadian nation, tying all of the institutions together, and it is the source of all authority. So I think Canadians should be proud that they have an institution that has been able to give the country peace, order and good good government.
Rafal, we got to wrap this up, but I want to ask you this one last question. I want to, pull on your historian expertise for a second. This is Victoria Day. It's a long weekend here in Canada, and we celebrate the reign and the birth of Queen Victoria. A lot of comparisons being made between the current monarch, Queen Elizabeth II, and Queen Victoria. Can you contrast and compare them for us?
Yes, well, I'm also a Canadian, I should say. I spent many years living there.
Well done.
And Victoria Day is the day that we celebrate not only Queen Victoria's birthday, but it is also the day we celebrate the Queen of Canada, Queen Elizabeth's birthday in Canada. She has her own unique birthday, which is Victoria Day. And Canada has only had 2 diamond jubilees. One was that of Queen Victoria and one of the Queen. And so I think it was quite right. We saw recently a stained glass window unveiling in the Senate with both of these great matriarchs, the one who oversaw Confederation, and together the 2 of them have seen more of Canada's history than any other sovereigns combined. So I think their contributions to Canada through being shining examples of the dedication to duty and self-sacrifice, putting everything else aside for their service to the country, is something that Canadians can take pride in.
Well said, Rafal. I appreciate you taking the time to speak with us today.
Anytime. Thank you.
All right.